Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Knox Makers. It's Tuesday, and for us that means it's time for show and share. As we always do, we've gathered for sharing of projects that we've been working on, successful and maybe not so successful. We've got a lovely slate of shares to share with you this evening, so let's get started right away with Sue, who has brought woodland animals.
Hi all. You might remember when a few weeks ago I shared, well it seems like just a few weeks ago, I shared this image. Actually I shared the actual creatures that I made. So I am trying to fill the little baubles for our mystery maker machine, right? So this is called amigurumi. So it's crocheting small items. So just to give you an idea for perspective, we have regular yarn. Oh, better go back out now. And then you have what's called crochet thread. And you stuff them with, for me, I'm just using some batting or cotton. So since I did the zoo animals the last time, I thought I would do woodland creatures this time. So I started with the raccoon. Oh, but the cuteness continues. All right, we'll put that on there just so you have perspective. We have a fox. He's kind of skinny, but you know, maybe he hasn't had too many chickens this week. I had a lot of fun with this guy, the beaver. So yeah, I didn't stuff the tail because beaver tails are flat, right? And then I tried to do a squirrel, and I'm trying to do make things that I don't have an exact pattern for. The book that I'm following, or the website I'm following, has a lot of the patterns, but not all of the patterns. So yeah, I'm trying to put together a few different patterns. I think if I make this guy again, I'll make his head a little bit bigger. It's not quite. but for the mystery bauble machine, that's fine. And so lastly, I wanted to do a deer. So yeah, for the deer, the body, the head and the body are always the same. Within that, within the things you can make, there's a devil, and that's what the horns are. The arms and legs are from a cat pattern, and the nose was from a cow. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, those are my little woodland animals for the week. And they will all be in the mystery machine. I will say that I have watched MacGyver, the original MacGyver with James Dean, I think that was his name. And so I really enjoy trying to make something out of nothing, or create a tool to do something. So I was not at home when I was doing the deer, and I needed to, shove some stuffing in it. And I'm like, okay, I don't have my normal bamboo stick to stuff. What can I use? So I found a straw, and while the straw worked okay, it didn't do a lot of the smaller parts. So then as I was eating dinner, it came to me. Yes, a fork works really well as a poking stick. So yes, I was able to use a little bit MacGyver attitude to get these woodland creatures finished. That's all I got. Oh, wow, look at the questions. Yes, Russell?
Jody wants to know how long you took.
Dodie, yes! With these woodland animals, I just do it in the evenings for a couple, 3 hours, and it generally takes 3 to 4 evenings to do them. So it's not quick. It is time consuming. Yes, Andrew?
Yeah. What kind of medication is that squirrel on?
Whatever it is, I wish I had some recently. Yeah, maybe a little bit more coffee, right? Ooh. Oh, the squirrel from Ice Age, yeah. Yeah, I think the pattern did show him with an acorn, but no, I'm done. I'm done with the squirrel making my own pattern. So, Amy, this is my tribute to you if you're watching. I'm not as good as you, Amy. Thank you.
Sue, those are so cute I can hardly stand it. Next up, we've got Julie, who's going to show us a solar system quilt.
I've been called up for this job before. Believe me. Okay.
Our quilting group does a monthly or 6 month quilt along where we do different blocks. And last year, this year, my theme was batiks. And the blocks that are around the outside edge of this are part of our quilt along. And the panel that is the center of it was my theme for this year. I thread painted the inside of the inside of the planets. I highlighted all of the satellites. I did thread painting on the comets. So, and this is one of the reasons why I need your long arm to be useful, because I had two 24-inch square sections that I had quilted until I turned it over and discovered I had folded. So I had to unquilt. So it took me longer to unquilt those two sections than it did to quilt the entire quilt. So,
Can we see the backside?
the backside is a simple, this is the most perfect backing that I have ever seen, and I found it at Joann's on sale because it truly is like a star field. And you can't really see this unless you're up close. So touchy-feely is fine.
We turn it around one more time.
Mm-hmm.
What does the back look like?
So can we spread it out on the top of the lawnmower?
Yes, you may. Yes, more than happy to. It's already been washed, so we can spread it out and we can do all kinds of things. It's even been pre-furred since our cats have already been on it. Thank you. Oh, wait, yes, okay, questions. Yes. Thread painting, okay, when you actually get this up close, you'll see what thread painting is. It's taking different colors of thread to act like paint, to highlight different sections. Like on Jupiter, there are 5 different threads that highlight that planet so that the colors are showing, are coming through. And you can see that this is Saturn, and you can see the texture. We've also done the rings, and I did around the asteroid belt.
Space station.
Yeah. Let me move it too. And there you can see, is this Skylab or ISS? I think that's ISS. Okay. The thread painting goes the length of the station as well as around the solar panels and the crew quarters. So there's all kinds of thread painting in this. It took me a while. Yes.
It's incredible, but I was wondering, I didn't get the part where you said you made it for what?
Okay, my quilting group does a quilt-along. We started 4 years ago with COVID so that, when we couldn't get together, we could all sew the same blocks. We would use the fabrics that we had, and this is our 4th year of doing this, and I put my blocks around the outside of this panel that I got from Riley Blake that I just fell in love with and bought 2 of. And my older son says, okay, I want one too. So, thank you.
That's really beautiful work. Thank you for sharing that. It reminds me the map in Time Bandits. Does anybody remember that? Okay. Somebody hold Russell back because Toby is next and he's got a lamp.
Oh, you did not get permission.
So, last time I come up here, I had a 3D printed person, a friend of mine, and I was making a bar tap handle. And I wanted to go ahead and light it up and make it into just a lighted bar tap handle. So I learned printing solid, no go, because the lights don't shine up through it. So I decided to make it hollow. So 2 weeks ago, I was trying to push the LEDs up into it, and I got one of the LEDs stuck in the leg. So I was like, okay, let's get this out and let's see what we can do to go ahead and fix it. Well, I couldn't get the LED out because I also had 2 wires pushed up there for another LED because I was trying to be greedy and put 2 up one leg part. And I was like, okay. So I took a pair of pliers and I cracked it on purpose. Got the LED back out just to go ahead and think, well, how can I do this better the next time? Well, also decided, since this is going to be a real bar tap handle, I also need to stress test the whole thing. So technically I snapped it in 2, and I took a lot of pressure to go ahead and snap it. So I actually had to hit it on the side of a table just to snap it. So it's a lot stronger than I had anticipated. So the model that I have right now, which I'm going to hold underneath, you can probably see that it does have a little bit of detail in the face and everything like that. So when you turn it and everything. So this is actually printed out of resin, 13-hour print total, and it's about 8.5 inches tall. So, and it actually is a full tap handle pull. But the cool thing about it is I've also got 3 LEDs in it, and it does light up with a battery. So technically it is a lamp as well. So I couldn't figure, when I first lit up the 2 legs at the very bottom, it would only light up to the waist. So I was like, I need to put one in the chest cavity area. But I also realized that when you see it in person, it's not going to show up really good at all on the overhead here. It's a lot zoomer in than I thought, because the lighting and so forth, even if I was to kind of dim it a little bit, you can still see the quality of the print, but yet in person it's a lot easier to see up close. So figured I'd shove it up in the chest cavity area and then put them up in middle ways in the legs. And then of course the other thing I also learned is with the battery back here, so it is running off of a coin battery, the CR 2032 battery that you get at Walmart for like watch batteries and everything are great, but they're 3.2 volts. This one actually is a lithium ion rechargeable battery that you can buy. So it's an LIR 2032 battery, and I bought the $12 chargers to charge them with. So this one's actually 3.6 volts instead of 3.2 volts. which is why when I first took it to Hooters to go ahead and show them off the bar tap handle of the previous bartender, they were like, well, that's bright. And I was like, yeah, it's a little bit brighter than I had anticipated because I used the other battery as my test piece. But anyway, it is a lamp, so that's all I have for show and share. Questions? It's not. I just basically did it as a proof of concept. I've got a friend that actually built a tiki bar in his backyard, and I'm going to since he was a steampunk person that used to come here, RJ. I'm actually going to see if I can get him to put his old cosplay costume of Captain Nemo on, and I'm going to see if I can rescan him with the new scanner and the better detail, so that way I can print out a hollow one, and now that I know how to put the lights and everything on it, we can attach it to the wall in his tiki bar, and it could at least be a showpiece for him. So that was my thoughts there. But more or less, it's I could scan anybody, and I can make them into a nightlight if nothing else. So, I mean, I was like, I might do that for family members or something like that. You can be your own nightlight. I don't know. But that's pretty much what this would have.
A nightlight? It's a major award. Next up, we've got Hunter, who has brought a green bowl.
All right. Neil was nice enough to bring in some donation wood. So I took a piece of cherry that he had and I made this bowl. Turned out pretty nice. What's interesting about it is the wood was completely green when I cut it a few days ago. And it takes, one thing I learned when doing woodwork is it takes an extremely long time for wood to dry, more than I thought. So I didn't feel like waiting, so I went ahead and sealed it. I put beeswax on it. And there's no telling what will happen. It could crack or it could be fine. So this is kind of a test piece to see how that goes. These guys have some interesting methods that I'm going to try next, which is microwaving the bowl, putting it in the oven, cat litter, I just heard today. So I'm going to try some of those and see how those go. That's all I got. Any questions?
How long did it take?
So I looked at the pictures I took, and I think it took from me getting the wood to being done 6 hours, but I kind of messed around some in that time too. Yeah.
How do you apply the beeswax? Like, you rub it on or you melt the brush?
Yeah, I just get a paper towel and put it on.
Is that melted then?
It's I don't melt it. I've read that, but I just use what was back there, which is like kind of liquidy anyways.
I've
Yeah.
got the black and white part of it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've read of people melting that, but I haven't done it myself. Yeah.
What kind of wood is
This is cherry. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Very nice. And I find your lack of interest in waiting greatly relatable. Next up, we've got Matt, who has brought curtains. Is that right? Curtains?
I got a picture. Here we go. I did the sewing machine class on Saturday, and it had these curtains that were just really long. They went down to where, like, below where the pillows were. So when I would toss and turn around at night, it was just peril because the pillows were stuck. The pillows would get the curtains stuck to that in the wall, and it would pull, and I'd feel like I was going to yank those down. So I just shortened them, and they came out looking pretty good. And when I did it, both Sue and Thea told me that if I was off a little bit, that it would look fine. And you were right, because look, I'm off a little bit right there. And it looks fine. So I thought that that was pretty cool, and it's the first time I ever used a sewing machine. There you go. Yeah. And it took exactly the length of the class, which I think was 2 hours or something. Yeah. So thanks to Sue and Thea for guiding me through that, because without them it wouldn't have happened.
Isn't it fun that we get to see each other's firsts along those lines? I vividly recall my first time using a sewing machine. I won't tell you about it, but I did not wind up with curtains. Next up, we got Russell, who apparently has made announcements, or is going to make announcements.
I guess if I were a time traveler, I could have made announcements, but I'm still working on that. As you all know, or may not, but I hope you do, we have a market coming up. Who knows about the market? Whoa, yeah! Come on. Leaky's the only one that hollered. Come on. Whoa! Mo better. All right. I like it. These are available in hospitality. Please take some and spread them out everywhere. Something very important, though, is to take the file that you can download from Mattermost and post it on your social media. Or just post on your social media, hey, we've got a market coming up. It's a night market. You need to come. Just do all you can to spread the word to everybody you know, so that we will we'll have a good turnout. We're excited about having a night market. It's an experiment. We're experimenting with lights even this evening, so when it gets dark, we're going to go outside and see how much light we got. We'll have 4, you may have seen them coming in. We'll have 4 of those runs of lights along where the booths are, and hopefully that'll be enough light to get around without tripping and hurting your nose on the gravel. I know that we have lots of volunteers. A lot of people have talked to me about helping and doing various things. Next time, we're going to look at having us sign up online. We don't have that this time, but please let me know, or just sign the sheet that's in hospitality so we'll know how many people we can expect to help. Since it is a night market, we'll be starting early Saturday to get everything ready. And we can use all the hands we can get to help get ready. Plus, at the market, we'll need people to for vendor support, helping parking, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So just let me know or sign the sheet, please, so we'll know how many folks we can expect. Am I stealing your thunder about the market and cleanup? And yeah, I was afraid of that. I will leave cleanup to you, okay? I'm such a nice guy. Oh, okay, here's something that Isaac may not talk about, and that is the lamp challenge. I keep hearing about these people that are making lamps. Toby made a lamp out of a 3D printed person, which was actually pretty cool. Rules are online, so you can check the rules there. They're really lax. If it looks like a lamp, I mean, you can enter it, okay? Just don't go to Carm and buy one. I mean, and if you do, make your own shade or something, you know. But anyway, next Tuesday at 7 is deadline for entry. Thank you, Neil, for helping me figure out how to do all of that stuff. So many people have offered to do so many things. Neil and Karen are going to help at the judging table. Matt's bringing some battery-powered lights. We've got, I mean, I just want to thank everybody for what you're doing, the effort you're putting into this, especially Aliki and Joe. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Thanks to the guys working on the paint booth. That thing is coming right along. like I tell people that come here for the first time, yeah, we got a lot of cool tools. The best part of this place is the community, and I firmly believe that it's the people that make this thing happen, and I appreciate each and every one of you. That's all I've got. Aliki, do you want me to say anything else?
Great.
All right. Yeah, I'm awake this week. I was kind of asleep last week. So, all right, thank you all, and Isaac, you can do the cleanup. Here we go.
I do actually want to add one thing to that, and that's just to say that as we talk about at every new member onboarding session here, volunteerism is the beating heart of Knox Makers. This thing only exists, it only is what it is, and continues to be this thing by virtue of everybody's contributions, by our collective effort. And that's not just labor, it's ingenuity, it's planning, it's caring, it's time, it's all those things. And I deeply appreciate everybody who contribute to that. It's not something we chase you down for, we're not taking notes. Russell rarely begs, he's begging now, but he doesn't do a lot of it. This is a great chance, though, to really contribute something substantial and meaningful to the organization, and I hope you'll take him up on it. We don't often have public-facing events. You know, these we do twice a year, and a lot of people, this is going to be the first time they've ever heard of Knox Makers, the first time they've seen us do anything, that they have any inkling of us at all. And some of these people may become community members. They may be our friends later, you know. Some of these folks may be deciding whether we get a grant in the future. They may be deciding whether they donate to us all the goods in their garage when somebody moves away. I mean, there's many ripple effects of this, and I think it's very worthwhile, even if you're not into it directly. And I think you will be if you give it a shot. So please give it a consideration. I do have a few other announcements to share with you this evening. On Thursday, which is October the 3rd, we are hosting a Build a Power Supply for a Solderless Breadboard class. That is obviously coming from the electronics department. If you would like to learn to work with surface mount components, this is a great opportunity to do it. It's on the Rails project that will walk you through learning to do surface mount soldering. Scary at first, actually super easy and satisfying, and it impresses others sometimes. You also get to make a tool that is legitimately useful if you're an electronics person, and you'll be among the first people to use the new scopes and the new irons that the electronics area now has just for our classes to make it all better for you. There are tickets available. Saturday, October the 5th, from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., we're going to have a cleaning day as foretold by prophecy. The cleaning day is us tidying up in anticipation of people touring the workshop as part of the market. We want to put our best foot forward. We want to try and get some of this filth off the floor, put things back generally where they belong, dust things off just a little bit. It's a chance to hang out with each other. We will be providing pizza stuff in the middle so you can stuff your face in the midst of doing labors. Please consider helping us do that. On Monday, October the 7th at 6:30 p.m., embroidery machine authorization is happening. That is already sold out, so I hope you have a ticket if that's something you're into. Let me remind you that if you didn't get a ticket and you wished you had, if you let the Czars and Serenas know that you're interested, you know, that you're looking for the auth class, that really motivates them to put those classes on, because it sucks to put the class on and nobody signs up. So if you're looking for it, let folks know. We're happy to do it. On Thursday, October the 10th, that is our next new member onboarding session. So if you are a possible member, if you're on the path to membership, you're going to want to attend one of these, and that would be a good chance to do it. And of course, on the 12th, the night market that we have heard so very much about. What? Please do volunteer. Please do help us clean the workshop up. If you can't do either of those, please at least help us keep it clean between now and then. Don't make a damn mess. And finally, on a personal tip, I will take this opportunity to use my bully pulpit to promote the Knox Makers Spook Show. This is a thing that I am super stoked about. Many years ago, people said, hey, you're spooky, why don't you make some kind of a Halloween party for us? And I said, certainly, I'll be glad to do that. And I have done it every year since, and I enjoy it very much. We're going to do it on Saturday, October the 19th. Please reserve that time. You can come here. You can hang out with us. By popular demand, we're not doing it at the theater this year, but right here at Knox Makers. We'll have a couple of movies. We'll have short subjects. We will have pizza. We will have soda and candy and nothing even remotely wholesome, I promise. The first half, 2 hours-ish, we're talking about drive-in theater, bring your kids as long as they're not too fragile kind of situation. Second 2 hours, we're going to get down because it's Halloween times, right? Somebody asked me with a straight face last week if there would be any blood. Yes, there will be blood. finally, let me mention that we, Knox Makers, were recently contacted by a professor from UT, a fellow who runs their media and journalism program. They have a small production outfit there associated with it called Land Grant Films, maybe you've heard of. They make small documentary pieces that they show on PBS and all that kind of thing, as you may be anticipating. They would like to make a little documentary about Knox Makers. I think that's kind of freaking awesome. But let me tell you why I think it's awesome. Not just because I want people to know about this and to cheer about how amazing you all are. I do want that. But what's really cool is why they're doing this. Because they're finishing up a piece right now where they have been working with this fella who is a woodworker, who's blind, who works in Greenville. And so they've been interviewing him and working with this fella. And among the things that he divulged to them is that he had sought out a maker space because he wanted a place where he could have some community with people who are creative, who do this kind of stuff. And they're like, you sought out a what? And so when they came back to Knox, they're like, makerspace. What is that? Do we have something like that? Yes, it turns out we do. And so their angle is the makerspace as a third place, makerspace as an intentional community, as a place where people who are creative come to be mutually supportive and validating and to make wonderful things together. And what better place to make a documentary about that than here? I think that's marvelous. So this is probably like a 10 or a 15-minute finished project, we think. They were here this evening. I had hoped to introduce you, but they're tired now and went away. They're going to come back again next Tuesday, they say, different ones. And they're working out, who they'd like to talk to and what they're going to shoot. So you'll see them around the workshop a little bit. They will be getting your permission, of course, before they videotape you. But their hope is to get some shots of y'all working in the shop, working with each other, making neat stuff, having a good time together, and doing some interviews as well. And of course, we'll play that here once this thing comes to fruition. And they've given us in advance, of course, the permission to use it to promote Knox Makers as well. So I think this is really great. So that's all I've got. Thank you all for being with us this evening. Let's go out in the workshop and make some weird stuff, huh? Oh, wait, no, wait. I forgot to say, look, wait. If you're coming to the Spook Show, and I hope you are, please RSVP. There is an event on the Knox Makers website, and when you RSVP, I buy more pizza. Pizza for everyone. Yes. According to how much pizza you want. Okay, dismissed. Thank you.